running the mothership. And so yesterday, Oklahoma had practice. Spencer Rattler wasn't there. And you started to see some smoke about the fact that, even, hey, I have a friend of mine, or I was told, or someone said that Spencer Rattler had cleaned out his locker and was no longer a part of the Oklahoma football team. He's entered the transfer portal. I didn't believe any of that. Now, would I kind of say maybe he skipped I don't know. Today, Lincoln Riley said he gave Spencer Rattler the day off. It's pretty, okay. I'm not sure that's the right thing to do, but he did. But, that's Spencer Rattler. That's Lincoln Riley's quarterback. But it's amazing to me how things just go. Now, it wasn't like I didn't see it on the crawl on like whoever. But isn't that nuts how things can, and Dean Blevins, former Oklahoma quarterback, works in the media in Oklahoma City, will join us at 5 o'clock today on Oklahoma football. But it's just that's the evil of social media.
Yeah, it is. I mean, people just go and go and go. And, if you wait a second, the true story is usually better than the fake one. There's usually more meat on the bone. Although I think people expect Spencer Rattler to transfer if he's not the starter, but we haven't heard whether he's the starter yet. Not for sure. I mean, we can assume, and probably correctfully so, that Caleb Williams is going to start on Saturday. But until Lincoln Riley says that, until we hear that Spencer Rattler's in the transfer portal, and it's already been 6 games, so what benefit does he have to going in now, other than staying and seeing what happens?
And Spencer Rattler was at practice today, according to Lincoln Riley as well. Yeah, if he transfers, that's fine. But you think that Caleb Williams is going to go through the rest of the year without being hurt? There's a possibility he can even get through the first quarter this weekend. You never know. You never know. Craig, would you be surprised if you saw him, if he just cleaned out his locker, he's gone?
No one surprised me because he's a kid with a massive ego that we learned about from, his high school days on that Netflix show. I know my sister, for one, and I've heard this from other people who watch that show, she didn't like him. I mean, she likes Oklahoma, but she didn't like Spencer Rattler. She didn't like his ego. Now, that's something that maybe drew others to him, but ultimately what drew people to him was that 5-star ranking and the amount of arm talent that he has. But, a lot of fans have soured on him because – just the Texas games alone are enough to sour you on Spencer Rattler. Now, he's done some other good things for them. I don't think that it needs to be ignored or treated like he's never been good or, whatever the case may be, because people are, in this halo of joy surrounding Caleb Williams. But, Texas didn't prepare for Caleb Williams. Texas was not expecting to see Caleb Williams. So can Caleb Williams go start snap number 1 and play for 4 quarters for the rest of the year and get the job done? A lot of people seem to think so. I don't know. We'd have to wait and actually see, it in reality. But I think Caleb Williams is going to be the starter this weekend. I think it'd be kind of crazy for him to not be the starter after what took place on Saturday in Dallas. I did find Gary Patterson's gamesmanship, how much it was gamesmanship or reality as well on the TCU side of things, that just so happens their 3 best players on the entire team offensively are all wait-and-see mode, according to Gary Patterson. Zach Evans, Quentin Johnston. I know Johnston's been banged up, and Evans has been banged up. Max Duggan, Quentin Johnston, Zach Evans, they all list as, 50-50 or whatever, which I'm not buying for 1 second. I think it's gamesmanship, just like Riley not announcing a quarterback's gamesmanship. He doesn't have to. It's Tuesday. He doesn't have to name a quarterback today. If you had this question mark, and you had it to use to your advantage, would you just on Tuesday just randomly Caleb Williams is going to be the starter? No, why? What point is there? To satisfy fans and media? Who gives a what? All that matters is who shows up on Saturday. So I fully expect it to be Caleb Williams. As far as Rattler, cleaning out his locker, all that stuff, I mean, social media is, quite often off base. Sometimes it's on. I mean, maybe somebody actually heard something about him not being at practice. And, that leads to the rumor mill and all of that. Yeah. But, who knows what was said in Norman, Oklahoma? Who knows what he said to somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody? But bottom line is he is still on the team as of now. But I don't think that's going to last for, the remainder of his eligibility. I think even his father's comment today about, just waiting and kind of seeing, maybe we're at Oklahoma next year or maybe elsewhere. He said something along those lines. He said that they will wait and see what the NFL teams have to say, and then maybe he's back, depending on that, at either Oklahoma or wherever is what he said. So, there's something there, no doubt about it, and it could create an issue. But Lincoln Riley, I think, he's handled quarterback, races before. He's handled the quarterback position with a variety of different guys. And, maybe Rattler follows Mordecai and various others out the door that transferred. But, he's also got somewhat of a good problem in a way, because he's got two quarterbacks that are pretty good to choose from, and one who's definitely got the hot hand coming out of Saturday.
Yeah, Patterson mentioned Duggan and Evans and Johnston. And Johnston, of course, has been injured, a young man from Temple. Duggan and Evans, it's just part of the deal. You don't have to do that if you don't have to do that. Here's one of the notes again on message boards. And I was told this by a good friend that I've gotten to know him, Weston. Sometimes I get on a message board in a thread where I'm asked questions, or I may make a comment, and then there's it just takes off on tangents. And someone said, "Smokey, you're yelling at us again." Or I told Weston, I'm yelling at them on some things. I just try to go straight to it as far as how I feel, and that doesn't mean I do it right. But here's a thread on the site. And again, it's part of being message boards, and I get that as well. But we have a great one, and sometimes it can get a little bit out of hand. Rattler's locker cleaned out. That's the name of the thread. And then rumor on an Oklahoma campus that after missing practice yesterday, Spencer Rattler's locker was cleaned out today. Not surprising, but man, is he an unlikable dude. The unlikable part, a lot of people feel that same way, but he has not cleaned out his locker. He could do it tonight. He might do it Thursday. I don't know. But it's interesting how that just takes off. And there's nothing wrong with posting that if you have somebody on the yes, fine, I get it. That's what message boards are for. There's not 100% accountability for anything you post. Thank God there's no 100% accountability for any of my predictions, because I would be in trouble. Speaking of accountability, Friday, the story with John Gruden, and the chat room's going, the text line's open. We have calls early today, Paul. Light that up, 254-339-1122. Our first guest is not until Ty Detmer at 3:45, the former Brigham Young Heisman